Releasing old beliefs, stories, and emotions is something I like to call clearing the windshield. When you stop looking at the world through the lens of your past experiences, your perspective shifts from reactive to intentional. Welcome in. I am Sunny with Sunny Healing Intuitions, and I wanted to kind of express and share the experiences I had with the art of letting go. During the new moon and I'm sorry, it was the new moon solar eclipse in February. I had this moment where I noticed how far I've come, and I was still looking at some things with the lens of my past experiences. I'm creating huge change in my life right now. I am literally uprooting my life, probably for the fourth, fifth time, to create a move, and it's a little scary because I have no plans. I am trusting that all of the resources and the area that I'm meant to go will all align. And so at that time, I just felt I had all these messages to just let go of control, let go of the outcomes, let go of knowing how it's going to unfold, what's going to happen. And I literally surrendered fully. This is the first time I've ever done this. I am an over analytical, overthinking Capricorn who's got a lot of air qualities. I can get very detached, which causes a little bit of spiral, and so I wanted to just share my experience because when I got to New Jersey, this was right after, about a week after or so, that I was really starting to see the signs and synchronicity start to flood in. This was after a moment of smoke, fog, whatever you want to call it, clouding my vision of what I wanted in life, what I was trying to create, who I wanted to embody. And during this trip, I just kept getting showered with love. I mean, I picked up this random crystal in the middle of a big trunk full of crystals. And you probably won't be able to see it on here, but there's a tiny, tiny, tiny heart in the center of this tiny crystal that pointed out to me. I pulled a couple of rocks and crystals randomly out of nowhere that were shaped as hearts. My spirit guides, my angels, my ancestors were all showing up to show me how far I've come and that I have completed a cycle. And they were just showering me with love everywhere, congratulating me because I finally did it. I let go of control. And every time I let go of one thing, something aligned immediately. And it was just so powerful and beautiful. And it was so amazing to have that ability to share this with my friends because I live in hermit mode. I don't go out much. I even have my groceries delivered to me, especially since, a lot of things are, the energy's picking up and we're all becoming a little bit more sensitive, picking up on each other's energy. And it's just going to get more powerful. And this is why we may be experiencing some burnout, which if you are, definitely check out last week's episode. That might help you as well. But, sometimes we have to start over, and sometimes we have to not look at it as starting over, but beginning again in a more powerful way. And I just saw 333 has been a huge message coming through. So I have a lot of information to go over, and I took a lot of notes that I'm going to read, so hopefully it doesn't sound boring. But this is just really exciting for me to share because of the experience I had during this lunation. I mean, I really had a lot of love and synchronicities coming through during the full moon lunar eclipse. I forgot if it was a new moon, full moon. It's hard to keep up with the energy right now. I am not an astrologer, but I do keep up with this information from astrologers that know what they're doing. Okay, so conditioned thinking around blocking the blocks. Sorry, let me start again. Here are some ways that conditioned thinking blocks our ability to truly let go. This is me being me and being authentic, and I don't edit because I like to be me and allow what flows, because sometimes things come through accidentally, and I don't like to filter out things. I like to be me, okay? So we like to have this safety in the familiar. This is the belief of having to understand why something's happening, why a situation is unfolding the way it is. This stems from a fear of lack of control. I can agree and resonate with this message because this is where I was before. This is the reality. We are overanalyzing, which keeps us in the emotion of being on life support, right? We're keeping this idea that, we have to do it this way because of the familiar, or choosing things that are familiar rather than the unknown, because we have to know, we have to see it, to believe it. We have to know that we've been there before in order to trust it. But right now, we need to trust the unknown because none of us have been here in this energy, in this lifetime, in the now. This is the present moment is now. And we have never been there each time we're hitting that now moment, okay? So this is just something that kind of keeps us stuck. I call it the identity attachment trap. This is the belief that the situation and the circumstances define you, when in reality, you're the observer of your story, not the story itself. That's huge and powerful. That realization can help you with so much, especially if you have been in a fear of like non-existence or the void, because that is the belief around something that may define you. We don't want to do that. We're not labeling ourselves in order to create an existence or something in the void in order to label it. It doesn't define us. None of the situations or circumstances in our life define us. They're just happening. We're the ones that label it. So that's a very good awareness to come to. So then we also have the justice or moral obligation loop. This is the belief that you are protecting yourself, when in reality, this is a hyper vigilance to ensure that you stay in a state of past pain. I know it sounds, like torture, but this is literally what we do to ourselves. We have to be kind to ourselves. We're our own worst critic. So this can stem from the fear of future pain, right? So we're already creating stories. There's a situation that's happening, and we have to justify it by saying, well, this is something that always happens, or, I knew that this was going to happen. And then we put that story into our reality, and then of course we manifest it. We create it. We're creating and manifesting more painful experiences by living in that mindset. So the big problem with this is that often these blocks are felt physically as tightness or weight before they are even recognized as thoughts. A lot of times, if I know that it's not meant for me, or it's not good for me, or if it's not for my highest good, I get this tightness in my chest, almost like a painful feeling, like I'm gonna have a heart attack, or like I'm having a panic attack or something. That's when I know that I'm in a situation that doesn't work for me. So our brains end up creating these grooves that are based on repetitive thoughts and stories. When you consciously let go of an old belief of like, I am not capable or I am not worthy, you stop reinforcing that neural pathway. This creates space for the neural plasticity, okay? So we're actually allowing to build a new, more adaptive framework that aligns with who you are today rather than who you were 10 years ago. This is helping us to move out of that reality into a new one. So we're not reliving these loops, these cycles that keep repeating because we're stuck in the past based on the situation that we experienced. This is cognitive freedom, okay? Unrepressed emotions are psychologically taxing, or physiologically taxing. That's what I meant to say. Chronic holding onto anger, grief, or shame, these are the top 3 that we mostly feel. This keeps the nervous system in a state of low fight or flight mode. Okay, this is like survival mode. A lot of us have experienced trauma, so we are very familiar with that mode. Survival mode, fight or flight, having to read others' movements, body language, their tone, the way we move, the way we speak, our tones, things like that. So, releasing these unprocessed emotions can create higher levels of cortisone. This reduces, I'm sorry, cortisone levels to drop. My goodness, I am having so much fun doing this that I'm just up in the air as my Aquarius self. So, releasing these unprocessed emotions create a drop in cortisone levels. This is your stress hormone, okay? What this does is reduce physical inflammation and fatigue. A lot of us have been in fatigue for a very long time, and this is a way to find our way out of that. And this also creates emotional resilience. This increases that. So you become less triggerable, that sounds weird, because you are not carrying a backlog of unresolved pain that new events can set off. So, there could be a new event or a situation that happens, and because you're carrying all this unrepressed emotions or thoughts or beliefs or old stories, you're going to project that onto this new experience, creating that loop to happen again, that cycle to repeat. So the body often stores what the mind tries to forget. Letting go is not just a mental exercise, it is fully physical. People often report a sense of lightness or a disappearance of chronic tension in the shoulders, the gut, and the jaw once they stop carrying this hairy narrative. It also allows the body to be used for vitality and repair rather than suppression. Suppression is what causes illness, imbalance, disharmony, right? So it could affect our sense of security, our stability, our abundance, wealth, and then our health. I mean, it really does affect the four body system: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. They're all connected, just like our chakras. So old stories often act as a script that we did not write. When you drop the story of your life, like, I am the person who, or this always happens to me, you move from a fixed mindset into a growth mindset. This is the whole aim to this series of shifting our mindset over overall health holistically, wholly and holistically. So moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset is going to return the power of choice to you, letting you respond from the present moment rather than the sequel of the past. We're not recreating that story again. We're trying to move out of that and create new experiences that help us to open our hearts, help us to open our minds to change and opportunities that may be scary. Because right now we do need to choose something unfamiliar and something scary, because if there's fear attached to it, this is usually something that you need to go towards, because it's going to cause something super beautiful and new to come into your life. So just remember, I always say this, it's all about the journey, not the destination. So to bypass the conditioned thinking that keeps us tethered to the past is the most effective practice, moving beyond thinking about the problem. And instead of focusing on the body and the subconscious. So I just wanted to plug really quick. I am going to be launching a 3-part masterclass series called Somatic Sovereignty, Return to Your True Self. And this is going to be just a one-time fee starting on March 15th. This is going to be available to you whenever you want to purchase. It's going to be lifetime access, and it's going to work with some of the practices that I'm going to be talking about here shortly here after I finish this plug. And I just wanted you to know that, this is something that I truly value, because I've learned a lot about healing holistically through somatic breath work, through movement and exercises that may feel silly, but when you can do it in the privacy of your own home, or maybe get your girlfriend to join you and, just feel into yourself and become your true self. Feel that weirdness, feel that energy of something new and magical, and wild and free that you've never felt before. I've had some immense shifts that have helped me to grow and expand, just by following what felt weird and silly, allowing that childlike wonder and curiosity. So I hope that this is something that will serve you well. March 15th, I just saw 15/15. So March 15th, I will be announcing that. Back to this lovely podcast. So some practices that may help you in this work. So if you're feeling like you're angry or I am a failure, okay, observer journaling to break the identity trap is going to be very beneficial for this practice. You're going to rewrite the narrative instead of using distant language. Rewrite your internal narrative using distant language. I don't know why my mind is putting words in, but we're just going to fly with it. Instead of I am heartbroken, write I notice a sensation of heartbreak occurring within me. This is telling the brain that there's something happening within my body, but it doesn't define me. And this isn't something that the brain needs to be involved with. You're just acknowledging the experience within your body. So this is creating a psychological space between who you are and the story that you're carrying, okay? It proves to the mind that the story is the object that you can set down rather than part of your DNA. So if you're feeling like it is not safe to change, this is something that comes up a lot, probably the most for everyone as a collective, as a whole, because change is the only constant, but it's the scariest thing for everyone to experience and to open up to. So identify a place in your body where you feel the weight of the story, the old story. So when you find this place in your body, it tells, you can identify with that feeling, right? Notice it. Don't judge it. Just observe it. And then find another place in your body that feels calm and safe. When you shift your attention from the place that feels discomfort or weight or tightness, and then compare it with the place that feels calm and safe, you're going to teach your nervous system that you can experience the void of letting go without being overwhelmed. And then this is going to break the safety in that familiarity loop. So we're tricking the mind, basically, okay? So our body is recognizing the difference between those two places, and then we're letting the brain know that we can experience that, but it's not becoming a piece of us, and it's not defining us, and we're not attaching to it. So if you're feeling like I cannot stop thinking about this is called the justice loop. You want to practice exhale focused breathing. This is a really great practice that helps me to feel like I'm safe in my body. So the justice loop could keep us stuck in the cycle of rumination or repetitive thinking. This is something I've experienced a lot in. And it hasn't just been, this is something, just a side note that might help you if you are aware of maybe some past life experiences. I have experienced this with this lifetime and past lifetimes, I've noticed. Okay, because this was something that, like going out for a walk and feeling like I was going to be abducted by a male and tortured or whatever. I don't want to go into specifics of where my mind went, but this wasn't something I created. This was something that came up. And it really honestly took me a very long time to realize that this was something happening from a past life that didn't happen in this lifetime. So then I realized, okay, this is something I can heal now because I have recognized where it came from or where it stems from. So the practice is conscious rhythmic breathing. Okay, so this can interrupt the cognitive spinning that tries to justify why we should, I don't like that word, but we are using it, should feel angry or hurt, because we're the ones that are justifying it. We don't have, all we can control is how we react. Okay, we can always feel the things, that's okay, that's valid, but we have to choose how we're going to respond and react. So this practice, you'll want to inhale for a count of 4, And then you're going to exhale for a count of 8 with a sigh or a whoosh sound. This really helps to clear out that energy. It's letting your body know that you're releasing this from your energy and it's no longer a part of you. So long exhales trigger the parasympathetic nervous system from, rest and digest. So we want to make sure that our bodies know that we're resting and digesting this information. And then it sends a signal to our brain that the battle is over and that you are safe because you're no longer in that situation. The mental need for justice will feel less urgent as you do this practice, and then it will allow the emotion to physically move throughout your body, which will help it to release. Excuse me. Long legs. So this is the last practice. This feeling of I have suffered too much to quit now, right? So not allowing us, like holding on to that thing so tightly because we've held on to it for so long. Why are we going to let go now? This is really honestly what some people do believe, and that's okay. This is not about judgment. Some symbolic release is going to help by using object mapping, okay? And this is something I'm going to explain. So the mind will struggle to let go of things that it has invested in. This is something that may have happened in your childhood. Maybe your parents said something to you that really hurt your feelings and you carry that throughout your life. Or there was a situation that unfolded that made you feel like you're not good enough, or you're never going to, be smart enough or good enough, right? This is a physical ritual, because again, this is physical, right? That can provide the brain the ending that it craves to stop the loop. What you'll want to do is find a physical object. This could be a crystal that, whatever you feel, if you work with crystals. This could be a piece of wood. It could be a feather, Palo Santo stick, or it could be a sheet of paper. Whatever it is that you feel called to use is right for you. What you'll want to do is hold it at your heart. So you'll hold on to the crystal or whatever object that you get, and you want to hold it to your heart. And you want to mentally pour the story into that object, just feel into it, really pour yourself into it without attaching to it. Acknowledge the time that you spent with the story. Could be years, could be weeks, could be months, whatever it is for you. And then you want to physically leave it in a moving body of water, bury it, or safely burn the paper. So of course you want to use something that you're not attached to. I have a ton of tiny crystals that I get. Like when I purchase from my friend, I always get a scoop from her, the place that I got this beautiful rock with a heart on it. I've got a ton of these clear crystal, clear quartz, whatever. I mean, I am attached to some of them, but just find something that you're not attached to, because crystals are powerful healers. So just whatever calls to you, something that you don't mind getting rid of. So this practice will give the subconscious a clear data point that the transaction is complete. So this is a physical signal to your body, to your DNA, your energy centers, that you are physically letting this go. And then it's going to help bypass that feeling of like, this was all for nothing. I carried this all for nothing, because that's not true. Your body held on to it for a reason, for protection. But now it's time to let that go, because if it's not serving you and it's keeping you in a low vibrational energy and you're feeling like depleted, fatigue, tightness in certain areas, you're feeling pain, or you're getting sick often, this is an indicator that there's something that you need to let go of. And this is a beautiful, beautiful practice to let go. So whatever serves you best is going to help you. Just remember that this is about calling back your power, okay? This is a time for you to shine your true, authentic essence unapologetically. Take up space unapologetically. Give you the permission if you needed it. You don't always need it, but I'm giving it to you anyway. So I would like to hear from you in the comments. What old story, belief, or emotion are you leaving behind? Or which practice stuck out to you, or something that you're working on that supports you? Or is there something that I didn't mention that supports you that maybe can help someone else? Please share. Hit the thumbs up, help me to be seen, help me to get out there. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm going to give away 2 personal readings that are 20 minutes long and recorded for you to access anytime. Or I will be giving out, the third prize is going to be this Cosmic Tarot Oracle deck, if you like. So with that, just remember that our true power and creativity is something that we want to embrace and embody at this time, and it will help your reality to shift, and it will also shift in the most beautiful and magical way possible. So thank you so much for supporting me, and I hope that this is helpful for you. Share this with other people that may resonate with this energy or the vibe that I put out there or the practices. And until next week, love you.